Hello, we're back. It's been a while, a long time between Grunkle dates, I know. But you know, we were pretty bold last time, so I think that Ford needed a bit of a break. Now we're ready to engage in more thirst. See if it can be quenched. Probably not. So, because it's been so long, let's start trying to quench this thirst. You don't think you've been more nervous in your life. Mabel came with you yesterday when you went shopping for extra clothes, since Stan's mechanic skills left your car still being worked on, and you realized you needed more clothes than you'd packed. However, she managed to sneak in a relatively fancy set of clothes to add to your pile of summer-appropriate clothing, and she flourishes them in your direction with a wide, brace-faced grin. What'd you pick? What is it? Ridiculous cosplay cocktail dress, please. Ta-da! For tonight! You stare at the fancy outfit like it's gonna jump out of Mabel's hands and attack you. Well, it is Gravity Falls, so anything is possible. Mabel, are you sure Ford agreed to this? Of course he did! I asked him everything! He dropped whatever he was working on instantly! I bet he did, right on his foot, as he fled in terror to hide in the cave with the Mothman. Thirsty shipper is wiping stuff off his face. It's intense. And it hit the other stuff on his desk, which fell on the floor. And then he said,
I'd love to, but I'll need a fashion makeover. Please help me, Mabel. You're my favorite great niece.
Okay, so he actually said something else, but he said yes at the end of it. Now come on, I have to put the finishing touches on this perfect date. Get dressed, then come to the living room. This has progressed very quickly. It's all moving too fast. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this, despite how bold I was last time. She shoves the clothes at you and leaves you in the room to get yourself ready. What do you do? Oh no, I'm going to throw up. What do I do? I'm so nervous. Well, they're all practically the same thing. I'm gonna go with a solid, oh no, oh dear, oh bother. You put on the outfit Mabel picked out for you and head to the living room, where Dipper promptly guards the way into the kitchen with his noodle arms. Mabel wants me to keep you in here until Great Uncle Ford is ready. Oh, okay then. I'll stay here. You take a seat in Stan's recliner, trying to look relaxed and composed, but your shaking hands give you away to Dipper, who's reading in front of the door. But I thought he was blocking me with his noodle arms. He's got a book that makes him so much more dangerous. You look nice. I know Mabel picked it. I kinda helped, but it's nice. Now it's getting weirder. Stop making it uncomfortable, Dipper. I just want to see what I'm wearing. I'm headcaning it as glorious, but also tacky and probably excessively bedazzled because it's Mabel. So yes, please. Hot pink sequins. He's trying to distract you. Sweet kid. You smile at him. He smiles back before returning to his book, The Field Guide to Bigfoot. You see, that's probably pretty big. He can do some serious damage with The Field Guide to Bigfoot. Thirsty shipper! You can come in now.
I don't want it.
You jolt to your feet, heart in your throat. Are we ready? Let's do it. What do you do? Dipper, what do I do? Here goes nothing. Got any advice, Dipper? Dipper has no advice. We already know the answer to that. He's frazzled enough that this is happening. Here goes nothing. That's, I'm thirsty. I'm just gonna dive in and go for it. Dipper stands up and awkwardly pats your hand. Just be yourself, thirsty shipper. Great Uncle Ford likes you. I can tell. Trust me. He gently shoves you toward the kitchen door. It looms in front of you, menacingly. I can't read the word menacingly without thinking about that Patrick clip that's always going around from SpongeBob.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
Now go get him, Tiger. Was that weird to say? Good luck out there, dating my great uncle. Gross! Anyway. Yeah, this is This is making it so much more awkward than if we just naturally hung out and started dating each other. Now it all falls apart because of their interference. With surprising strength, Dipper pushes you through the door as Mabel opens it, and you stumble into the kitchen, look up, and... oh god. Oh god, Ford's dressed up too. He looks nice. Oh, he looks good. You can't even, he'll move over, but you can already see it's looking good. He's in no back, we need to read that. He's in a three-piece suit with a maroon necktie. How did Mabel know your only weakness? Maroon necktie. The suit or the maroon necktie, or just all of it together. Suit porn. She found the secret stash of suit porn that Thirsty Shipper had. Well, that and wait. He has flowers. Pfft, not as good as the maroon necktie. Who are we kidding? You make eye contact after examining one another. Oh, he's blushing. You need to see that. Look at that. Ah, look at that blush. You make eye contact after examining one another, and you feel your face flush as red as his. Mabel beams, clapping her little hands together. Yay! Now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The Mabel certified dinner date of dreams. Well, I am kind of glad it's all just out in the open now. That does make it a lot easier, I suppose. I knew Grunkle Ford would be hopeless on a romantic dinner date on his own, so I'm here to make this one perfect. No, we can do this. We're grown adults. We can figure it out. It's gonna be okay. Now it's gonna be a G-rated date. No. You only now notice that she's wearing a bright pink apron and that something smells very burnt.
Mabel?
Dipper pushes you further into the kitchen and Mabel shoves Ford forward and the two of you stumble, almost into colliding with one another. Ford straightens up and clears his throat. His face is as red as his tie. We established that his tie was maroon. Continuity.
Well, these are for you, Thirsty Shipper.
You take a closer look at the bouquet and discover that a third of the bouquet are real flowers. They look to have been picked from outside the shack. Another third are pipe cleaner flowers with glittery petals, and another third are origami lilies. Judging by both Ford and Dipper's paper cuts and Mabel's sparkly sticky fingers, they collaborated to make your bouquet themselves. Aww, that's sweet. He got them to help. He must really like me. That's really cute. He likes Thirsty Shipper. He's starting to feel some thirst of his own. You know it's real when you're using glitter and origami. This is the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. I didn't know you folded origami. How many paper cuts did you guys get from these? These look questionable. Well, like, we're going from thirsty to, like, cute joshing banter to, you know, ribbing. Let's just go on. Let's dive right in. I didn't know you folded origami.
Oh, well, yes, a little. Dipper made the majority of the flowers, but he needed help curling the lily petals. That was my contribution.
Great Uncle Ford, you did way more than that. You picked the colored papers that the lilies were gonna be, too. They're red, of course. From your limited knowledge of color symbolism that you picked up while you were dating Damien, the message is clearly sent across, and you flush as scarlet as the lilies. Oh my. Not in front of the children. Thank you, Ford. They're beautiful.
Well, I'm glad you like them, Thirsty Shipper.
Ford smiles at you. You attempt to smile back, but you're too flustered to really make the expression. Hopefully he understands what you mean. Dipper takes the flowers off you and manages to stuff the bouquet into an empty 2-liter bottle of pit. Trademarked. Sticking it in the middle of the table. You can't see Ford anymore once you sit down. You carefully scoot the vase to the side until Ford's pink cheeks and nervous expression are visible again. Even if you're certain you look even more pink with embarrassment. Or the wonderful pink sequin sparkle dress that I'm imagining I'm wearing. Well, I'll leave you guys to it then. Chef Mabel, you ready? Sure am, bro. So ready. Mabel is standing on a stool and readying 2 plates of food. the contents of which you can't see yet, due to the mass of her hair and Dipper's hat. Ford waves at you, and you turn to him leaning forward so he can whisper to you. I can be back in my corner of safety now. He's moved to the center with his glorious suit so you can all just enjoy it, as God intended.
Do you have any idea what's going on over there?
They're obviously planning to poison us with their spaghetti. As long as there are no Brussels sprouts in the mix, I will pull through. She has a bowl of jelly beans, so whatever happens, I'm eating all those. As long as there are no Brussels sprouts in the mix, I'll pull through. Or it should be Josh. They're obviously planning to poison us with their spaghetti. They are.
Well, somehow I doubt that my great niece and nephew would plot something that sinister.
You gotta roll with the jokes for. Mabel whirls around and hops off the stool. Brandishing 2 glasses of something disturbingly bubblegum pink, she places them down on the table with a flourish. I lost points. I lost 8 points. I'm sad. Ta-da! 2 tall glasses of Mabel juice. This looks sort of weird. What's in this? Such a delicacy. I already lost enough points on this date. I gotta play along. Such a delicacy. What ingredients did you use? Sugar, sugar, and more sugar? You glance at Ford, giving him a face of, play along, please. Don't leave me alone in this.
Oh, yes, Mabel. This looks truly exquisite. Pray tell, what's your method?
Are the plastic dinosaurs and Monopoly pieces just decoration for this fine creation? Mabel is too busy giggling at you both to answer, and she thankfully doesn't notice that neither of you touch your drinks. I thought you said that they wouldn't poison us. Well, then you should take the first sip. Ford's too busy smiling at you from across the table as you ask Mabel about her secret ingredients for Mabel juice, and whether she used a blender or a food processor to mix it all together, calling it a true work of art. Anyways, on to the main course. Voila! Mabel turns back to the stove and grabs 2 plates of food covered with cloth. She places one in front of Ford and one in front of you, before stretching across the table and pulling both cloths off the plate at once. What awaits you on each plate is horrifying, to say the least. There's a pile of 3 very burnt chicken nuggets. Dinosaur chicken nuggets, as if you'd expect anything else. Some half-wet, half-dry noodles, with a slice of cheese draped across the top, and a handful of jelly beans. The special ingredient, of course. The Mabel Special. I'm not a fancy cook. I'm just a cute little girl. But I slaved away at this romantic dinner for the 2 of you. Dang it.
Mabel, this looks...
Call the hospital. Get the stomach pump. Ford looks to you, panicked. Take a long, hard sip of the drink.
That's just my solution to all of life's awkward situations. It's like, so what do you think about this? Just long drink sip.
So Mabel, you made this? I'm not exactly sure what to eat first. It's the truth. I'm not exactly sure what to eat first. There are so many choices. I'd suggest cleansing your palate with the jelly beans first, then digging right into the mac and cheese. I got that bit from one of those weird cooking shows Grunkle Stan left on TV when he fell asleep.
Now that's an idea I can get behind. The jelly beans, I mean.
Not if I steal your jelly beans first. Ford arches a brow at you, but he grins at your pseudo-challenge.
You can take my jelly beans, all right.
Why did I make it sound like that was really suggestive?
This is G-rated, there are children. You can take my jelly beans, all right, over my burnt chicken nuggets.
You're on. You and Ford dig into the jelly beans, going as far as to try and spear them on your forks to play the part of high cuisine dinner. Ford seems to relax a little as the dinner continues. But once the last jelly bean has been eaten, the 2 of you go silent once again. Ford glances between you and the remains of his food, swallowing hard. Mabel rushes in to save the date. She's the one who made this awkward. We could have gone into town to like a mediocre restaurant and it would have been fine. Except then the townsfolk would have seen us and they would have gossiped. We could have gone into the forest and had a skeezy supernatural picnic and been fine. Oh, of course! I forgot the sauces and stuff. Silly Mabel. Mabel goes into the fridge and grabs bottles of ketchup and mustard, placing them on the table next to... Is that the blue glitter we used on the cupcakes? Yep, you're lucky there's still some left.
Why is it here?
Garnish, silly. What do you garnish your meal with? Ketchup, mustard, blue glitter. I don't think adding more sauces is going to help anything. That's just going to ensure my trip to the emergency room. I'm gonna go with edible blue glitter. Let's do it. You pick up the glitter and shake some onto the burned chicken nuggets. While they're now blue and twinkly, the glitter hides the burned bits and makes the nuggets look a little bit more fabulous. That's right, it gives it some extra sparkly crunch. I honestly, even though we've been mentioning it, forgot about the nuggets. I was just thinking about getting either mustard or ketchup onto the half-cooked mac and cheese and just like, no. No, thank you. Why? Yeah, I know. They're pretty now. This date. This date. Add a little glitter and anything is possible. Ford laughs, and you hold the bottle of glitter in front of him, shaking it enticingly. Come on, join me with my pretty nuggets.
If you say so.
Even that sounded wrong to me. What is wrong with me? I'm too far down the rabbit hole. I haven't played this for over 2 weeks. I shouldn't be this thirsty. Ford decorates his nuggets with glitter, and your respective plates shine under the kitchen light. Mabel looks at you both expectantly, like you're going to chow down into your dinners now that they've been appropriately sauced up. Eat up! You've still got a lot of food left! Oh god. Ask Ford to critique his dinner. Attempt to eat the burned chicken nugget. Take yet another long, hard sip of your drink. Oh, there are no good solutions. Only darkness. Well, if I ask Ford, that's just putting him on the spot. You're like, you, what do you think? I'm gonna try and eat a chicken nugget. Attempt to eat the burned chicken nugget. You gingerly pick up one of the chicken nuggets and take a very, very small bite out of the edge. I love how horrified he looks, like I'm about to end my life. It's crispy and burnt, but edible to some extent. You swallow your bite and quickly take a sip of your drink. Ford stares at you in total awe, like you just defeated a gremlin with one punch. You have glitter on your mouth. You can wipe that off for me. Reciprocate from last time. Oh, I do? Where? You lean forward and question. Yeah, that's right. You lean forward and question, and Ford carefully reaches his arm over the table, wiping the glitter from your bottom lip. I thought it was like on my chin or some appropriate place. That's a lip swipe. Both of you flush at the gentle contact, especially since all the while he's gazing down at your mouth, hopefully thinking the same thing you are. I don't know, that really depends on the thought process.
There. Got it.
He quickly sits back down in his chair, and you do the same, avoiding eye contact until your face turns back from red. Mabel squeals in the corner, clapping her hands together. She's gonna go write about this in her journal. Mabel stares at you both, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, awaiting some sort of magic to happen. You swallow nervously and look to Ford before you cup your hand at the side of your mouth, hiding your mouth words from Mabel's eye. I have an idea. You tap your head with your other hand, charading your idea further. Ford gestures across the table as if to say,
The floor is yours.
sweat nervously. Yeah, that was my plan. Sheer terror. Ask Mabel about dessert. Ask Mabel what Stan's up to. Dessert can't be that terrible. It can't be. Also, asking about Stan on the date just seems awkward. What's for dessert? Mabel, what do you have planned for dessert at this classy establishment? There must be some sweet treats up for grabs. Huh? Oh yeah, I think Dipper was gonna help me with those. Dipper? Mabel hops down from her stool and snaps her fingers at the two of you. Oh hey, came through. No canoodling while I'm gone, okay? That's right, because when you're a shipper, no one's allowed to canoodle outside of your eyesight. You need to be there to see it, document it, take several pictures of it. She leaves you both red-faced and stammering as she skips out the door. Ford turns to you, smiling nervously.
Where were we? Bottom lip swipe. Thirsty, shipper. I know Mabel tried her best, but I'm not accustomed to the dating game, as Stan calls it. For the first time in a while, I don't know what to do.
Start by taking me on a real date. That would be nice. That sounded so salty and mean. I didn't mean it like that.
Do you?
You stopped thinking for a moment. Dipper told you something earlier that day. An idea in case the Mabel certified first date of dreams went awry. You suppose this is the perfect moment to enact Plan B. Alright, but we gotta act fast. Watch my movements. You pick up your plate and struggle not to laugh as Ford mimics you almost perfectly and shove the contents of your dinner into Waddles' mouth. The piglet chews, swallows, and nuzzles your leg.
Really?
According to Dipper, Waddles will eat anything. You give him yours too. That way it looks like we ate. Devious. The deviousness. Can you trust me now? You've seen my devious side. Ooh, scary noises. You hear footsteps thudding down the hallway. Mabel's on her way back. And quick! You gently push Waddles towards Ford, who quickly feeds him the rest of the dinner. Waddles snorts happily at the two of you before settling down at your feet, content and full. And I'm back! Hey, you guys were just kidding around. What did you think of the dinner? Waddles burps. Perfect.
Absolutely delicious, Mabel. You're quite the chef, you know.
You know, you gotta tell her the truth. Don't fill her heads with these dreams. She's 13, she needs to know. Mabel beams happily at you both. Also, Mabel, can we take dessert to go? I want to take Ford somewhere on this date. Ford flushes scarlet at that. Mabel looks between the two of you and nods, waggling her eyebrows at you. You sly dog! Of course! Is there a way to say you sly dog without it sounding like really skeezy? If so, I have yet to find it. With a popsicle each, you lead Ford away from the shack, away from town, and up a hill. Am I still in my gorgeous pink sequin sparkles?
Where are we going?
Oh, this is it, but... You point upwards with your popsicle, and...
A meteor shower?
The timing almost seemed too perfect. I didn't want to miss out on seeing it. With you. You both blush as you sit down, shoulder to shoulder.
I'm surprised you went looking into meteor showers, thirsty shipper.
What's that supposed to mean? How dare you? You saying I don't look like a woman who can appreciate a good meteor shower? Get up, storm off, date over. Well, after our last time searching for anomalies, I got curious about other celestial stuff. Also, Dipper told me about it. Plan B. Ford laughs.
That kid's bright. The twins are both very smart. And very close, for siblings.
Ford pauses, and it's obvious there's something on his mind. What do you mean by 4 siblings?
They are pretty cute. What's the matter, Ford? Save. I've already messed up enough on this date. Return.
What do you mean for siblings? Ford turns to you, his mouth open as if he was going to say more, but he closes it.
They're just... I'm surprised at how close they are. Practically inseparable. Stan and I were never like that.
You seem like you are now. What happened?
Well, we were very close. Best friends. But once we got to high school, things changed.
You realize that Ford's hand is resting a few inches from yours. Casually. So casually that you're almost casual Fridays themselves. You scoot your hand closer to his, still too nervous to take it for yourself. You brushed food off the man's face, and now you can't take his hand. Come on now. What changed? Did something happen? What did Stan do? What did you do? Did something happen? Or what changed? Did something happen?
Well, yes, something happened.
Ford sighs, leaning back on his palms. He notices your hand near his, thinks for a moment, but decides to keep talking instead.
Stan and I had plans since we were children. We were going to get on a boat and sail far away from our New Jersey home, far away from our family, friends, everyone. Just him and me in the Stan and War, the boat we fixed up. I had a chance at admission to the college of my dreams. My other dreams anyways. I always thought the Stan and War was a lost childhood fantasy, and that one day we'd grow up and go our separate ways, and we wouldn't be as close as we used to be. My acceptance into said college hinged on the results of my science fair project, a perpetual motion machine that I designed. The machine was flawless. The calculations were triple checked. I had rehearsed my full presentation in preparation. I could practically see myself at that university, studying with endless resources at my disposal, and getting several doctorates.
Ford sighs again, rubbing his temples.
But it was the day of the science fair. The admissions team from the university were there, in front of me, ready to view the machine. I pulled off the cloth cover, and it was broken. My entire future was ruined.
Oh, Ford.
A perpetual motion machine has one job: to not stop. The admissions team left, crossing me off their considerations, rejecting my entire presentation, my calculations, my hard work. My chances of going to my dream school scrapped. It wasn't until I found a bag of toffee peanuts on the ground that I realized Stan had something to do with it. After that, we didn't talk for 10 years. I went to university, but it wasn't exactly my first choice. It wasn't until I came to Gravity Falls that I saw Stan again, and...
He cuts himself off sharply, deep in reflection. He looks so heartbroken, so sad. Let him continue. Don't say anything. Take his hand. Well, since I'm gonna have to make the first move and I'm already put my hand all out there, take his hand. You gently rest your hand atop his. He glances down at your touch, but doesn't take his hand away. Rather, he slowly twists his wrist and intertwines your fingers with his. You don't have to keep going if it hurts.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. It has been good to talk about it, in retrospect.
Ford sucks in a deep breath.
We fought. I hurt him. It wasn't on purpose, but I still hurt him. Then an accident happened, and I lost him again. I didn't see him for another 30 years after that.
You're tempted to pry, to ask what the accident was, but Ford seems finished with his story. He swallows nervously, awaiting a response. I'm sure everything's better now, right? It wasn't your fault. People change. I'm sure everything's better now. It could be good, but it also could be a bit dismissive. It wasn't your fault. Could be overly placating. People change. I'm sure everything's better now, right?
Yes, of course. Wait, no. I don't know. I was selfish when I came back. I blamed him for everything. In a way, it was his fault, but he did his best to keep us together.
Ford exhales. He looks tired, wiser than you remember. The man you played dungeons, and more dungeons with seems to have disappeared.
You're right, Thirsty Shipper.
I am? Yeah, I know I am. Well, never been happier to be right. My goodness. I'm gonna screen grab that. That's some thumbnail stuff happening right there. Ford turns and faces you. He squeezes your hand.
You are... I never looked at it like that, but I never looked at you like that. You're smarter than I expected. Rude.
Rude. This date is over. Take my hand back. Storm off. How dare you? Just because I'm a thirsty shipper? Is that what you're saying? Man, it's hot up on this hill. Sweltering even. Maybe that's just you. Who knows? Well, I have my moments, I suppose. And by moments, I mean all the time.
I don't mean that kind of smart. Thirsty Shipper, I mean a different sort of smart. You're kind and caring and...
He suddenly realizes how close you both are.
And I've never met anyone as wonderful as you.
Ooh, smooth recovery. The feeling's mutual, Ford. What do? Kiss his cheek, go for the hug, true love's high five. I love you. Kiss his cheek. I like how there's an ellipses there, like it's a question. Like, cheek? Question mark? Kiss his cheek. You lean forward a little. Ford stiffens. Whoa, too bold? Is this too fast?
Are you sure that...
Ford. You cup his cheek in the palm of your hand, duck to the other side of his face, and gently press your lips to his cheek. His cheeks both flush pink, and you can feel the warmth under your fingertips.
Wow.
Better than the burned chicken nuggets? Ford snorts, resting his forehead against yours.
Far better. Unbelievably better.
The two of you head back towards the shack, hand in hand, in a comfortable silence. Once you reach the door, Ford grins sheepishly.
I wanted to say thank you for tonight, for being there for me.
Anytime, Ford. I had a great time. You stand at the door to his house, like two teenagers on a first date. Well, you are, you suppose. And, hopefully we can have more dates like this. Only better, with better food. Ford flushes red at the mere mention of a date, which is so adorable you start laughing.
Yes, we shall most definitely have to engage in more of these dates with you and myself. Dating.
You smile at him, and his blush further spreads to the tips of his ears. He exhales, tugging at his collar.
Well, if I get to see you smile like that again, then I'd be happy to have more dates.
It's your turn to flush pink, and you both laugh as the front door swings open. Standing in the doorway is Mabel, who looks relieved to see you both. Where did you go? I gave you dessert, and you abandoned me. You sly kids, sneaking off to go have fun by yourselves. Did you have fun? You and Ford glance at each other, grinning.
We certainly did.
Eee! I'm so glad. Now come inside before you get bitten by mosquitoes. Dipper yells from inside. Mine spell out. Does that spell dating? Both yourself and Ford shout, what? simultaneously at that. He's making that up for comedic effect. They really just look like a cat paw today. Why they have to be in that position? I have to move. Dipper appears at the front door with Mabel, scratching at his arm. Yeah, I did. You want to see the cat paw, though? You turn to Ford, who looks very excited to see this connect the dots of mosquito bites. We'd love to, Dipper.
I bet it doesn't have 6 toe beans.
Ah! Toe beans? Come on, Dipper. I want to see now. Mabel grabs you, Dipper grabs Ford, and you're both tugged into the shack, your laughter echoing into the woods around the house. Hey, we're like halfway to all the love. Halfway to love. If we don't make it, I'm gonna be so annoyed. For those who are new here, I have a history of not making it to the romantic ending of most games I play. And that is that. It's perfect timing, for I have to go on this episode. But we will be back very soon, not as long as last time. So, I'm looking forward to seeing you all. More days with Ford, more thirst. I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye. This has been Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Special thanks to all of my patrons, names on the side. And as always, stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.